What up, everybody? Taekwon Crypto here. Today I'm defending another project I'm super excited about, and it's Mainframe. What would really help the channel out is if you would just quickly smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so we can get the word out. When you do that, it helps the YouTube algorithm choose which videos to display. So if you're excited about Mainframe also, then if you like and subscribe and someone comes along and types in what is Mainframe or Mainframe lending protocol or why I should invest in decentralized finance or who the heck is Taekwon Crypto, then this video will show up. But it only happens if you help me out by smashing that like button, subscribing to the channel. Anyway, with that out of the way, let me tell you about Mainframe. The first thing you can do to learn about this project is go to their website. And clear as day, be the bank. Mainframe is a fixed rate borrowing against crypto platform where users get instant liquidity to multiply their investment. But you know me, I'm not big on just reading the screen. To tell this story, we have to back up a little bit and first understand two things. The first is that most people are investing in crypto. Why? Because they want to make a lot of money. That's fine. I hope to make money too. What I care about is evaluating projects that I think have long-term viability and I think are changing the world. This is one of those projects. But if you're watching this in September 2020 when I recorded it, Mainframe doesn't even have a version 0 of their platform yet. So this is not financial advice, and everything I'm reviewing here has nothing to do with price. I'm just going to tell you about why I think this project is awesome and why I'm so bullish on it. You see, if you haven't been paying attention, decentralized finance is the next big thing happening in crypto. Right now, a bunch of people are starting projects and building projects and platforms, and people are coming along and investors trying to revolutionize the way finance works in the world. Look, just go to Google and type in what is decentralized finance. First thing that comes up there, and you find article after article about it. How about you search for something like decentralized finance crypto coins? I've searched for that one before, and boom, top 20, 100 plus, blah, 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 blah. Look, I'm not going to go into the fact that it's hot. It's very hot right now. If you're building a crypto project, being in DeFi is kind of the way to go. So that's the first thing. Decentralized finance is a big deal. The second thing has to do with the history of the company. You see, if you actually Google what is Mainframe, you actually find some old articles that talk about Mainframe provides a censorship and surveillance resistance communication protocol that enhances the privacy of its users. Nothing to do with decentralized finance. You see, they were one thing, things didn't work out, and recently, within the last year, they pivoted. And you can find that really easily when the former CEO, Mick, Hagen, released a white paper talking about that pivot and laying out a framework for what the company is going to be. And of course, I'll link to this in the YouTube notes, but Mainframe Credit Protocol is a decentralized protocol, allows fixed rate lending and borrowing. And they have this vision for fixed rate loans, which is something they believe is needed in the market. And guess what? So do I. You see, when you want to borrow and lend money, you typically want to get fixed rate loans. When I bought my first house, I didn't know anything about borrowing and lending, but everybody I knew who was older than me told me not to get a variable interest rate. I didn't even know what that was. I just knew fixed was better than variable. Now, that may not always be true. To be honest, I don't know enough about finance to tell you or advise you on any of that. I just know the idea of having a fixed interest rate for me felt more palatable and budgetable for what the rest of my life was going to look like. If I was going to borrow some sizable amount of cash, I would like to know what I'm going to pay back with some consistency without that ever changing the variable interest rate. That's the first thing that Mainframe's introducing. Fixed rate lending. Now, again, I didn't research every project, maybe somewhere that exists, but that's one of the big points of this project is in a world of borrowing and lending, they're offering fixed rate loans. But a reasonable question might be, how many people are out there borrowing and lending? Well, one of the biggest lending protocols today is Aave. You can see right now the current market size is $1.6 billion. That's $1.6 billion of which people have put away to gain interest on, right? These are lenders, people who've locked in their coins as collateral to gain interest, to gain more crypto. So my point is borrowing and lending is a big space. In crypto alone, it's a big, just ask yourself, have you ever borrowed money? Then ask yourself, would you like to lend money? Well, if you've borrowed money, you've borrowed it from someone who has lent it. Lenders, borrowers. Lenders, borrowers. Maybe you've been both. People who want to build wealth are typically on the lending side. They're handing out cash to somebody who needs to borrow it. That's matchmaking. And that's a big market, which means there's lots of place for lots of players. The question is, who's going to do it right? Who's going to do it better? I don't know, but I do know that Mainframe is going to compete in that space. So how are they going to do it? Well, there's lots of places to go, but if you really want to get started, I highly suggest you watch the now CEO Doug Leonard's Ask Me Anything, recorded on July 17th, 2020. It's like an hour and a half long. I've watched the whole thing, and it really opened my eyes to how the project got where it is, why, for example, the team isn't listed on their website, lots of other things about making money and hope for, the token value in the future. But more than all that, one of the things I got out of it was that Doug Leonard, the CEO, doesn't appear to be a big risk taker. And one of the places you can see that is in this Ask Me Anything, something like this. We only have one MFT, but there are changes coming. We're following the synthetics playbook. And if you're familiar with them, you've probably got a pretty good idea of what's coming down the pipeline. And similarly, in the official white paper by Doug, you can find things about the lending protocol and this idea of Y tokens. The Mainframe lending protocol is an implementation of Dan Robinson's yield protocol, Y tokens. Why is that a big deal? Well, it means that Mainframe isn't reinventing the wheel. They're using the framework from which established crypto projects have already found success, and they're using technology frameworks that are already proven in the market, and they're going to follow those as a roadmap to innovating the two main pieces that I think their messaging is. The first is fixed rate lending, and the second is this idea of a guarantor. So borrower, lender, if the borrower doesn't pay back, is the lender stuck? Well, traditionally, yes, but not with Mainframe. You see, Mainframe has this novel approach by introducing guarantor pools, which provide protection for collateral vaults. What that means is borrower, lender, if the lender doesn't pay back, there's a third role, a guarantor, who has already agreed to buy back the locked up crypto at a discount. And those two things are really important when you think about finance and how you secure the full cycle. Not really sure why I'm doing this. Borrower, lender, guarantors. Those three roles all make sense to me. You want to have someone borrow money, you want to have someone lend money, and if that transaction doesn't work out, having this third party that guarantees backing of that loan in a very way subsidizes, or at least guarantees that the original lender is going to make back their money. That reduces risk. That is huge when you talk about lending out your cash. You want to limit your risk, obviously. And another thing I like is the organization appears to be financially solvent. Again, going back to February when Mick announced that Doug Leonard was going to become the new CEO, he says that right now is the perfect time for this transition. Mainframe is the healthiest it has been for a long time from a financial standpoint. It has about 2 years of runway. Look, that's a big deal. When you're going to invest, you want to invest in the technology. But for me, I want to invest in the people behind that technology. And as I've researched Mainframe and watched their videos and interacted with people in their Discord channel, I've been really impressed with the quality of conversation and the thoughtfulness from which they appear to be approaching this product. Look, I'm going to link a lot of good information in the description. Do your own research. But a reasonable closing place here is kind of, where are they now? We're in September. I told you earlier, they don't have a product. What does that mean? Well, again, go to their website, check out their blog. They just released a roadmap update here a few days ago. And, the short story here is that they are coming out with a product here in November. Again, watch the video for yourself. But, our security audit is scheduled for mid-November, and around revisions may follow. We'll launch our private beta. Assuming all goes well, we'll be ready to launch. So right now in September, they're close. They're 2 months, maybe, away from having a version 0 product. And again, it's not going to be something completely brand new. It's going to be something that is based on projects that have already succeeded. That's interesting to me. There's leadership that appears to be transparent and smart. That's interesting to me. Decentralized finance isn't going away, so there's lots of space for lots of players. Just think about how many banks there are today. Money is a big deal. having a product in money may be a big deal too. It feels like all of the infrastructure is there to actually give people a chance to be the bank, to give people who have assets they want to lend out to receive stable fixed rate income, and to allow borrowers who really need money but maybe don't want to sell their crypto a chance to get that cash at very little risk and at a fixed rate. And this idea of guarantors who take on the majority of the risk to buy inexpensive crypto just seems like a really smart idea. Now, I don't know if it is. I just know I think it is. And if you're interested in the project, which I think you should be, then check out the links in the description, join the Discord channel, and ask questions, because I believe that Mainframe is here to stay. And I believe, just like Mick Hagen wrote in his initial white paper, it does fill a much needed gap in the current ecosystem. Will it? That remains to be seen. But in the meantime, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments below if you think Mainframe is going to make it, and or if there's another crypto project you want me to check out. I've got a bunch lined up that I want to do videos on, but this is one I was particularly excited about because I've been watching for a while, and I can't wait for them to launch in November or maybe December. Hopefully not January 2021, but until next time, be safe out there.